All right, now we have an interesting topic involving Lenny Kravitz. Apparently, Lenny Kravitz is not feeling the love when it comes to being acknowledged by black media and black awards. What's the word I'm looking for? Black
Outlet.
awards. Yeah, I almost used the word syndicate.
You can call it that.
I almost used the word syndicate, but trying to be reasonable here. But Lenny Kravitz does not like how he feels as though he's not celebrated enough when it comes to black award shows. So here's a little article for context. This comes from People. It says Lenny Kravitz clarifies comments on feeling like he is not celebrated, referring to black award shows. Uh, After Lenny Kravitz shared in a recent Esquire interview that he feels as though his career has not been celebrated by black media organizations, he's expounding upon his thoughts. The rock star 59 posted to his Instagram story on Monday to clarify what he meant when he said that he feels like his music and success, quote, is not celebrated by the folks who run black media outlets, and pointed out that he's never been invited to the BET Awards or Source Awards. Source Awards, I don't think, do they still do that?
I don't think
Uh,
so.
in his statement, the Grammy winner explained that he was specifically referring to black award shows and expressed his hopes that rock music will continue to be recognized in those spaces. It is important to me to set the record straight on recent media reports based on an interview I did. Kravitz began the statement on his story. My black musical heritage means a lot to me, and I owe my success to my supporters who have taken this journey with me over the span of my career. The comment I made was not about black media or the black community. I was specifically referring to black award shows in particular. My comment was meant to express a concern about ensuring that black artists are being recognized for their work in what is now being called non traditional black music, which it is not. Rock and roll is the music we were instrumental in creating and is not, and is a part of our history. We must retain our heritage and celebrate that together. BET and countless others have paved the way for this type of recognition. I hope that by sharing my concern, a spotlight will be shown on this issue. Love and peace. So he feels like black award shows specifically do not do enough to spotlight artists such as him who have, you know, paved the way for themselves when it comes to rock and roll music with black artists. Um, do you agree with what he has to say here?
I mean, absolutely. And I'm surprised it took him this long to actually say something, but I'm glad that he did say something. And I think that for anybody that's listening, hopefully a light bulb went off in their brain and go, yeah, why aren't we including, people like Lenny Kravitz in, you know, our day-to-day consumption of music? If we have a black radio station, for instance, why aren't we playing music from all black artists? Rock included, jazz included. Like, why are we not doing this? Um, our culture has been pigeonholed into rap and R&B. And R&B is fading away, and that's slowly just turning into rap.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
all been. I not to cut you off, but
mhm,
I think it's all just been lumped into hip hop.
yeah, it's just an
It's all just
amalgamation.
lumped in. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just this ooze. And it's not like, what is this? And because I'm hearing these girls that have a voice, but she's rapping while she's singing. And it's like, hey man, where's the R&B? Where's the harmonizing? We're gone. They're basically giving us bars. I don't want to hear that. And so yeah, man, it's just it's just melded all into this amalgamation of audio that people are calling, it's rap. It's just rap. And so, and when I saw this initially, when I first saw his first thing, before the clarification, I was like, you know what? I also said sourced, you know, but he is
yeah,
59 years old. So,
right. Yeah,
but so he's also referring to when he was in his heyday.
yeah.
hey man, I was out there crushing it. You know what I'm saying? Doing tours, selling albums. I wasn't invited to anything. And why not include us in our stuff? So yeah, man, I agree with this 1000%, man. Once people start to really look at the artistic history, that Black people has had, you know, historically, throughout the world in different regions in different time periods, you'll see our influence in classical music, you'll see our influence on rock, you'll see our influence on everything. And so when you're talking about, a people that have the origins in a lot of these things, if not all right, then it shouldn't be a surprise if you see an artist who's actually making quality rock music. And so for decades, Lenny Kravitz has been one of the only, honestly, out there. I guess the award people would argue, hey, we're going to give it to you every year. But I think if it was a thing where we embraced Lenny Kravitz a lot more back in those times, we would have seen a lot more people step into that box. But we've only been given Suge Knight, East Coast, West Coast beef, shoot 'em up, bang bang, and not enough peace, life, and love, man. So I agree with Lenny Kravitz. I don't even, and that's just crazy. But I could do my own research, but I don't really even know how many people are, how many Black people are in the rock game right now, or any other genres of music. I mean, so it's so unique that when Andre 3000 decided to step out and make acoustic music, it just caught everybody off guard. But once you know the history of our music, you'll see that we're just doing what we always did, and that's just make masterpieces. So I'm here for him. I agree with him. I feel as though Black media outlets, if they do have the people in mind, maybe they should branch out and incorporate other genres like jazz, like rock, like classical music, like wind instruments, to get our people involved in a lot more than shoot 'em up, bang bang, or he cheated on me, or she cheated on me. So what are your thoughts on Lenny Kravitz feeling like he was excluded from Black media and Black media awards?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you too. I don't have much more to add to that. Um, if we really did celebrate black artists in all forms of music, then we would be talking more about Darius Rucker, right? That's somebody else who I thought of. That's somebody else who I thought of off the top of my head. Is
I
that
don't even
that's
know what that
Hootie and the
is.
Blowfish, right?
Oh,
He's
okay.
the drummer for Hootie and the Blowfish. But he's wait, don't let me make sure that I'm right about that
Yeah, don't
before,
quote
because
him
you
on
know
that.
how the internet is. Somebody gonna come out of the woodwork and no, you got that wrong, bro. They not gonna focus on the point that I'm making. They'll just focus on how I got Darius Rucker wrong.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the internet works. But yeah, Darius Rucker is Hootie and the Blowfish. So I was right
Dolphins
about
fan.
that. Yeah, I was right about that. That's how people are, bro. I'll get something like that wrong, and the whole comments will be about how I got that wrong instead of the point that I'm making. That's how cancel culture works. That's how ridiculous it is.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I agree. I agree with that. We would spotlight Darius Rucker more. We would include categories for country music for black artists at the BET
Yeah, man.
Awards
Yeah.
if we really cared about it, but we don't. We would do rock and roll, and people like Lenny Kravitz would be spotlighted. But we don't care about that. We just care about rap and hip hop. But that is what happens when you make rap and hip hop synonymous with black culture, which is what has effectively been done.
You're right.
That has been effectively done. Congratulations, music industry. You pulled it off. You pulled it off. It was a slow burn. It took, I would say, about 25 years, but it was a successful operation because the ideology that rap and hip hop is synonymous with black culture is truly, it's taken hold. It's taken hold. So whenever what our main export artistically is rap and hip hop music. Darius Rucker, when like I'm pretty sure Hootie and the Blowfish does shows overseas, I would imagine,
Mhm.
but I don't know how big those venues are. I don't know how big those crowds are. But Drake and Travis Scott, they're going over to Europe and they're selling out venues. And when you watch videos and you hear foreign people talk about what is it that black people are known for, they're going to mention rappers, they're going to mention rap music, and they're going to mention hip hop people, because that's our primary export artistically. Even though we're all over the place in literature, we're all over the place in movies, we're all over the place in other areas of entertainment. Um, if it's not professional sports, and that's really basketball and football, it's going to be a hip hop star or a rapper.
Yep.
That's our main export. So capitalism in America has effectively uh, superimposed the idea upon the collective consciousness of our population that black culture is hip hop. And so we therefore believe it. We've internalized it and now we believe it. So whenever we award excellence in our exports, we're only going to award those various categories. And we're not going to look at a Lenny Kravitz or a Darius Rucker, unfortunately, even though they need to be spotlighted because they are contributing to the arts. In my opinion, they are doing a greater service to black art than rappers and hip hop people, because they are showing the world that black people aren't just shooting basketballs and running with footballs and rapping on beats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're also playing guitars. We're also playing all of these instruments. We're also playing the drums. We're also playing the bass. But if you leave it up to black art in America, the only thing that the world will know us for is rapping and being hip hop stars. So
Yeah.
this is a manifestation of that very successful strategic implementation. It started, I would say, probably in the late '80s, right? And it really took hold in the '90s. 2000s they ran with it, but now it's firmly entrenched in everything. um these foreign countries have no interest in bringing in any form of black export when it comes to entertainment if it isn't a rap star or a hip hop star. Why? Because they also bought into the hype that the music industry sold through capitalism, which is that's their culture, being a hip hop star or being a rap star. So Lenny Kravitz is absolutely 1000% right. And what's even more sad is Lenny Kravitz doesn't even get recognized when he is a part of rap and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lenny Kravitz has been featured on songs with rappers
Mm-hmm.
and other hip hop artists, and even that don't get the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? One of the best songs on the Blueprint to The Gift and the Curse from Jay-Z was the song with Lenny Kravitz that was produced by Heavy D. Like that was one of the best songs on that album by somebody who's regarded by a lot of people as one of, if not the greatest rapper of all time. And it
Mm-hmm.
kind of gets shrouded in the recesses of history. What we will award, who we will give trophies to is thought rap, and female rappers selling box and rapping about how they sell box, prostitution rap,
Mm-hmm.
um, and on the flip side, these dudes who rap about trapping. Even though if you listen to Fat Joe, 95% of that is a lie.
Yeah. What are we gonna
So
start doing about that?
so Lenny Kravitz is 100% correct, but this is what you get. You reap what you sow in this regard. Um, Music isn't synonymous with black art. Rap and hip hop is what's synonymous with black art.
Agreed.
Music is not synonymous with black culture. Rap and hip hop is what is synonymous with black culture. So why
Agreed.
would Lenny Kravitz be recognized? He's viewed as outside of black culture.
He is.
So that's the result.
Yep. No, 1,000, bro. Like, well said. And for whatever reason, bro. And it's not even just award show stuff, as you mentioned, bro. He's not even considered black culture,
Yeah.
like at all. And so yeah, I agree, man. The product, as you mentioned, as hip hop, as just getting black feet and everybody to go, hey, man, hip hop is is Negro. And, it's just Negro stuff. So yeah, I agree. And for
Uh,
for for it to work so well, even on me, because I even remember, man, whenever Lenny Kravitz names come up, or Hootie and the Blowfish, man, it was always how, oh, bro, y'all on the other side of the fence, like
Hmm.
y'all doing that, trying to cross over stuff into that white people stuff, and it's just like, nah, man. But again, it's successful to do that when you don't know your own history, and when you don't know uh the genres of music that you created, you know. And once people get older, they start finding things out. But when you're a youth, man, and you just hearing stuff on the radio, you make those associations and you run with them. It's not until you get older where you actually go, oh wow, and you start to see the influences in different genres. And then you also don't have this mindset of, I don't have to be in this box. Who told me to be in this box of rap and hip hop?
Yeah.
And I broke out of that box like mid 20s, bro, mid to late 20s. It took me a while to actually openly embrace different types of music. And so yeah, man, it has a stronghold. But that was well said when you said that it was pretty much a systemic thing done by the industry to just get people, hey man, this is who y'all are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, and anything outside of that, it's white, it's this, you're
Yes.
selling out.
It's an
And
other. Yeah.
yes, and other, and Lenny Kravitz always fit in that other bucket. But I'm glad that he's actually speaking up. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Hey, I had him in the other bucket too, dog. And for him,
It is. Yeah.
and for him to actually say this, I was like, oh, hey, he feels excluded. I didn't know that. I thought he wanted to be out there. But then
Hmm.
there goes my naivety. There goes
Correct.
my
Right.
my ignorance.
Right.
And but I'm glad he said something. Hopefully more people speak up on this. We need more of it. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Guns N' Roses, drew a blank on that. Guns N' Roses, that was the name of the Jay-Z song on the Blueprint too, with Lenny Kravitz. Produced by Heavy D. It's one of my favorite songs on that album. And it just kind of gets shrouded in the recesses of history, unfortunately. I used to live in Tallahassee, and this is the last thing I'll say on this one. In Tallahassee, they have this annual spring festival every year called Springtime Tallahassee. It's like
Mhm.
one of the biggest community events of the year in Tallahassee. It's like this
Mhm.
huge, it marks the start of spring in Tallahassee. They have a huge parade. There's a bunch of events going on around the city. They have this huge outdoor festival. It's kind of like a carnival,
Mhm.
food, music, games, all of that kind of stuff. And one of the bigger aspects of Springtime Tallahassee is a concert that's free to the public that they have on Friday night of that weekend. And I can't remember whether it was 2020. I think it was 2022. I don't think it was this year. I think it was 2022. The headline artist was, because they always feature a country star. It's
Mhm.
usually a country music star at this thing. And last year, the headline artist was Jimmy Allen, who's a black country music artist. I was intimately involved with this because through my company I handle the media sponsorships. So we partnered with this event. So I kind of they gave me tickets to it, so I kind of knew what was going on. They gave us a VIP table, so I wanted to go just to see like how many
Mhm.
non-white people would be at
Mhm.
this thing,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
at least specifically how many black people are going to be at this thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And even by Tallahassee standards, it was very, very few. It was
Mhm.
very, very few. So it's like part of it is ignorance because we don't even know, because we've been mentally, socially conditioned, brainwashed, mind controlled, as you like to say, into believing that black culture is rap/hip hop. But then a lot of it also is, once you become aware that that's not necessarily the case, do you support any of this, or do you still look at it and view it as other or alternative? Because it ain't other and alternative. Like, we started a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
We
Yeah.
were a part of starting a lot of this stuff.
Right.
These industries have just tricked you into believing that we're not involved. And if you see a representation of it that looks like you, then it must somehow be an other. That's not like us. And I was disappointed to see that there weren't too many of us who were there at that show, but I also came to expect it. But that's another example. He's a popular country music star. He's black, and I don't see him getting a lot of love when it comes to black media outlets when it comes to talking about music. They don't mention him on none of these shows. He ain't at the BET Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards, some of the rest of the Soul Train Awards. They don't have that there. It's just at the Grammys, Billboard, and some of these other more mainstream programs. And it's disappointing. And then also, and we can go down a rabbit hole on this topic, but I don't want to have it go too long. But they'll see that the guy is his girlfriend is not black, and now you opening up a whole can of worms because you know how we get with that kind of stuff. Because so now he's definitely an other because he's not married to a black woman, and you know you got all of those weirdo kind of elements that are going on that contribute to this madness. But at the end of the day, Lenny Kravitz is correct. We do need to spotlight more exports that black people are contributing to artistically, and we are far away from doing an adequate enough job of doing that.
1,000, bro. 1,000. Hey, man, shout out to Lenny Kravitz, man, for just being Lenny Kravitz, man. Because I mean, just look at him. I mean, you can't tell me this ain't a rock star. So shout out to Lenny Kravitz, man. I love it.
And shouts out to his daughter because she is fine. At least she is to me.
Oh,
Zoe
shit.
Kravitz.
I think I saw her some years ago. I'm gonna have to do a reboot and see what's going on.
Go ahead and look her up. Zoe Kravitz, the sexiest Catwoman in the history of Catwomen.
Excuse me while you transition to the next topic.